Okay, let's just get to the head of the line here. Some of
Hmm.
these answers are so terribly bad.
Right.
Ah!
Yeah.
Not has nothing to do with identity or access management.
No.
Absolutely. To encrypt all storage, get rid of it.
Welcome to From Cover to Code, the Technology Book Club. Join us as we discuss artificial intelligence, DevOps, software development, cloud computing, and more. With your hosts, Angela Andrews and Michael Jenkins. The next episode of From Cover to Code starts now.
And we are live and in the building.
Yes, we are. I missed you.
As I have missed you as well. Angela, how are you doing?
Oh gosh, I'm doing very well. A lot has happened since we
Yeah.
sat in these chairs and had this conversation. I can go on and on, but I'm going to say I'm glad we're back in the saddle. It has been such a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's been a whirlwind, work
Yeah.
related, personal related. My mom passed. That was
Yeah.
amazingly crazy that I'm just still trying to process it. The holidays were fantastic. Um, Work has been great. Again, I
Mhm.
love what I do. So, um, haven't have we you just had a comment before we got on the air about
Yeah.
switching tech. Like I get so interested and it's like, oh look, there's something else new. I've
Yeah.
done a lot of that over the past couple of months and I haven't stuck to a few things that I thought I was going to commit to, but this right here, this keeps me committed. This keeps me on track. So I needed this level of consistency back in my life because I've been flying around like a chicken with my head cut off the past months. But it's good. We're back.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're here as well, that we're grounded in this discussion. Same thing for me. I had a very good holiday season, primarily because I didn't go anywhere. Usually for me, the holidays, Christmas holidays, I'm all over the map, literally all over the map. LA, East Coast, up and down the East Coast between North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, wherever, but this time I stayed put. I enjoyed a staycation right here at
I
home.
love that.
And then coming out of the holiday season, I had actually 3 courses to work on for LinkedIn Learning. So I was able to get those completed, recorded. They should be coming live any minute now. I'll be happy to share when those come. I can't, don't tell anybody, but I can't give all the details
Okay.
when they're exactly coming out, but soon. So
can you tell us what
soon.
they were on?
Yes, I can. As a matter of fact, I did 3 updates. One to a course on Nginx, learning Nginx. Another one's on GitHub Actions for CI/CD, and then a course on Jenkins, intermediate Jenkins, and I think the subtitle is automating your applications at scale or something like that. But yeah, so mostly CI/CD and one-off sort of web service with Nginx.
Sounds
Yeah,
great.
and
You sounded busy, but you had your holidays, which
yeah,
I think should be a time to kind of, especially at the end of the year, like you just want to kick
yeah,
back a little bit, not having so
indeed.
much and being so hurried. So,
Yeah, just to wind down and relax. That's why I'm glad I didn't have to go anywhere. I could just
good.
put my feet up and just kind of relax a little bit.
Great.
But of course, we are back in the booth, back in the studio to do what we like to do, talk about technology books, and then just discuss them, do the code, learn, share what we learned, and with you all, dear listener, dear watcher, dear reader, however you're connecting with us, we're bringing you along for the journey as well. And Sterling, he says, hey,
That's
C
my
to C
guy.
is back. Yes, indeed. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. We really, really do appreciate that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so I guess what I can share is the book that we're reading. This is season 4 of From Cover to Code. So if you're just now joining us and you haven't been rocking with us for all this time, go back to season 1. We read a book each season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to try to remember all the books that we've covered. Yeah, can you do it? Is that like?
I think I can.
Much on the spot. Okay.
I think the DevOps Handbook was one.
First season 1 DevOps Handbook.
One was Python for DevOps.
Season 2 was yes, Python. No. Season 2 was AWS. Was it AWS Lambda?
Lambda. Yes. That was 2.
Yeah.
And then Python for DevOps was 3.
Season 3.
4. Here we are.
4. We're back. We are reading AWS Certified AI Practitioner, in parentheses, AIF-C01 Study Guide by Tom Taulli. And I guess we had a little bit of motivation behind this book. I'm calling this like a cert sprint, for lack of a better term.
It is.
Or whatever. But it's like we're both interested in certifications. We're both pursuing certifications. And AI has just been like the fabric of everything for the past, I don't know how many years now, a good 2-3 years maybe. So we're like, you know what, let's get certified on some AI stuff. In AWS, they're a leader in cloud. They got a lot of AI services. So this was the book that we selected.
So I'm really glad we're doing this, because I'm sure that a lot of people that are going to be listening to this now and in the future, their employers are putting more emphasis on being AI fluent and understand exactly. So you understand how timely this is. There's tons of other AI certifications that you can take, but if your company's workloads are in AWS and you want to understand the AI landscape in AWS, this book is a good primer. It's an opportunity to learn the language, understand what the services are, how they interact. A lot of the services may sound similar, but we know that in AWS and in other cloud vendors that there can be a slight difference in a service, but it'll have a totally different name. And because we're doing an exam behind it, being able to differentiate between one and the other is key. These multiple choice exams will have you in a tizzy, because they'll give one of the distractors, is what they call it, when it's an answer that's literally put there to throw you off your square. That's the thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to read, because that is what Cover to Code does. We're going to read these books. We're going to discuss it. We're going to take little quizzes. We're going to schedule, me and Mike, we're going to schedule our exams. We're not playing. We are committed. That's how you make it real. It's not real until you schedule the exam. Now, you can move your date if you need to, but scheduling it makes it real, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
I completely agree with all the above. I will say, you talked about distractors, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, and maybe I'll put this banner up, the chapters that we're going to talk about today. Chapter 1, an introduction to the AWS AI Practitioner exam, and Chapter 2, AWS fundamentals for the AI practitioner. Now, one of these chapters went into like cloud computing. Now, we've been rocking in the cloud for a minute, right? I've been using AWS since back in the day. And I'm like, I know this. I'm flipping past all these pages. And I'm like, let me just go to the quiz. I went to the quiz. At least 1 or 2 questions had me pausing. I was like, wait, hold
You were a little cocky, weren't you?
I was like, let me go back and read to actually comprehend. Let me not get ahead of myself here. But also to your point about the date, that was some of the best advice that I got when I was preparing for one of the first AWS certifications that I took, the AWS Solutions Architect Associate. And a guy told me, he was like, because people always ask the question, how long did you prepare? How long did you study? What was your study? What was your preparation like? And he was saying none of that makes sense. None of that even applies until you schedule the exam.
Yes.
Because guess what? As soon as you schedule the exam, then you know exactly how much time you have to prepare.
There you go. There you
Yeah, if
go.
you schedule it 2 months out, you got 2 months. 2 months. Schedule a
So
year out, you got a year.
you got a
You
year.
know,
So we're going to look at our calendars and we're going to commit, because it's not real until you schedule it. That's all I'm going to say.
yeah,
So we understand we have X many chapters
yeah,
and we have a day job and we have other things going on.
yes,
But because we are serious about this, and you know how we are, cover to code people, we're in it to win it, no matter
yeah.
what. So yeah, I mean, maybe we'll look at our calendars when we're done talking about the chapters.
Yeah, indeed. Take a quick break right here to shout out some of the people that are joining us live. Sterling McKinley says, perfect timing for today's market for AI. You got to have the paper to, I mean, everybody's using AI tools, but if you got the paper that says, hey,
That's even
I got
better.
a third party to verify that I know how to use these things, then that's definitely what you need. And my man, Aaron Brooks, joining us, the mastermind himself.
Mastermind. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's where you
I
know him
the
from.
name.
Yes, indeed, man. Aaron Brooks, thanks for joining us live here on the stream, man. Really,
Thanks
really
for
do
joining.
appreciate you.
Okay,
Indeed.
this is a question for Sterling, because he's locked in. You're going to take it with us, right? You can put it in the chat. We want to know if you're committed, like if this little trio can rock, and then other people can come along as they see fit. But Sterling, you got to jump with us. You got to come with us. Indeed, but let me know. Put it in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, join us in the chat. Okay. I have some notes on chapter 1. Okay. I've got a few notes on chapter 2. And then a sneak preview, if you're joining us or rocking along with us, we're going to do a quiz live right here on the show. And I mean, I've already taken this quiz. I'm not going to call out the questions that stumped me. We're just going to discuss.
We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about
we're moving on to get through the quiz. Okay. But chapter 1, they talked about, it was basically like an introduction to the exam. Why would you need to take it? What it's going to do for you in your career, perhaps. It's essentially a foundational certification. And I appreciate the term practitioner, because it's like at least to me, it means you know how to use the stuff. You might not be building it, you might not be innovating in AI itself, but you can take AI as a tool, be it in an agentic IDE or some sort of chat bot or whatever the case is, and you can apply the technologies that are available to you.
Agreed.
Any thoughts on the background for the exam, or
let's see. So I did have a few notes. So the recognition, like being able to say that you've done it. I'm reading a message. Being able to say that you've done it, to put that little badge out on LinkedIn. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. That is definitely a flex. All right. To be able to say I've done this is really a feather in your cap toward your career, because people are always watching. I no longer have LinkedIn Plus or whatever it's called. So I don't know all those people who keep stalking my LinkedIn page, but I know that there are always people looking, and I know you know that as well. Yeah. So to keep yourself marketable and have those badges out there is definitely a flex. I don't care what anybody says. And because AI is becoming so ubiquitous in everything that we do all day, every day, the fact that we're taking the time to commit and understand the underpinnings, like in this practitioner role, we're not trying to eat an elephant, but if you do it one step at a time. And I think this is a really good first step. The last thing I'm going to say about this, the reason why you want to take this exam is because there are other cloud providers having their own AI tools, but depending on where you work, that's where you should be focusing. So if your workloads are in Azure, you should be focusing on Azure. If you're in Google, you should be focusing on Google. Because I primarily work in AWS, that's where my focus is going to be. So
no, and I appreciate that the author did say that. He gave some examples of the corresponding certification for other clouds. So he's like, hey, if you're reading this book, we're talking AWS. But if you work in a place, like you said, that's on GCP or Azure or IBM or whatever, then here are the corresponding certifications that you could take. Or if you want to be a multi-hyphenate cloud practitioner or whatever, maybe you're going to do all of them, and just to show your expertise. and then that's the case. The certifications to follow. And also he mentioned that it's definitely an opportunity. Like you said, everybody's looking. Put this badge on your LinkedIn. People are watching. It's an opportunity to increase your salary and your career opportunities, your career potential. So
it is.
I mean, everybody's using AI all over the place, but how many people are going to get certified to say, hey, I am like I said, third-party approved practitioner, and I'm ready to work for you, sir or ma'am, at your enterprise and implement AI as a part of my work. So, yeah, I really did appreciate the breakdown on that.
Now, one thing about practitioner exams, they're for practitioners. They don't necessarily have to be for architects or engineers or things like that. There is a small list in the section about boosting your salary. Sales engineers for AI solutions. How about a sales engineer, period? And the fact that you understand the AI part of whatever tool or widget you're selling, you've just committed and made yourself that much more better of a seller. So they had a quote in here about the typical salary, because most salespeople are on a commission. You really do have an opportunity to make a boatload of money when you can speak the language, because you have to transmit and communicate that language very effectively to your customers. Otherwise, what you're selling, it won't sell. Like, no one's going to buy it because they don't believe you. So give yourself the authenticity. And in all of these roles, they gave a couple of examples of roles, but give yourself the authenticity to be able to understand and speak eloquently about said services.
Yeah.
We have a quote here. What do we have?
Yeah, Aaron Brooks says everyone is using AI, but very few people are diving into the tools and skill sets to implement AI and AI solutions. And I'll just piggyback on what you said because, and I'll give a little bit of context to it. One of the things that I love about people that are not pure technologists, but that embrace technology, it's like a superpower because they understand whatever line of business they're in. You gave the sales example. They could be in customer onboarding or whatever whatever their skill set is. But if they know, like, hey, there's this AI solution over here that could make our job easier in what we're doing or make us better as a provider for whatever it is, then it's like an amazing superpower to have because both sides. I'm a pure technologist. I don't necessarily know the business side. I know how the businesses operate, but I can't develop a solution waiting for a problem. I need somebody to come to me with a problem and say, hey, I'll develop the solution. I'll put some AI in it. This is how it's going to work. But if you already know the problem and you can reach out and grab the solution, man, that's an ultimate superpower.
It is.
Before I go on, Sterling said they're going to commit. They're going to join us on this journey. So thank you, Sterling.
Thank you
for rocking with us.
So with the three of us committed, and I'm sure hopefully there are other people who are going to commit. We got this.
Never too late to join us.
I'm so glad he's going to rock with us because at the end of it, we're going to be able to say, you know what? I did that with Cover the Code, right? Yep. That's what we're going to get to say. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited about that.
No doubt. So let me get this chapter banner off the page. I did have a slide that shows the
let's talk
components of the exam. So I will read this for those that are listening with us. These are the topics that are covered in the exam and the percentage of the exam that goes along with it. So fundamentals of AI and ML is 20%. Fundamentals of generative AI is 24%. Applications of foundation models, 28%. Guidelines for responsible AI, 14%. Security, compliance, and governance for AI solutions is also 14%. I did the math, totaling up. Yeah, it does add up to 100%. The 14s and the 8s, they kind of threw me off a little bit. But yes, it does add up to 100%. And I mean, I really think like they're putting the emphasis on the things that are the most important for a practitioner, because if you're going to learn how to apply AI, machine learning, generative AI, then those are the things you should be tested on. Like you should know how these things work, how you can use them to create solutions. So I can kind of understand their spacing here, their the way that they've appointed the percentages.
So I had a conversation through Teams chat today with someone who was in a prior study group for the solution architect last year. We had done it she had gotten it after we had finished our group. And she said, even if she doesn't take the exam, and now she's moved on to DevOps. If she doesn't take the exam, she learns so much just by going through the chapters and the topics. And I'm sure she's watching a video or something. But for those of us who don't need a certification, it's not a job requirement, or we just don't like testing, that brings its own level of anxiety. Going through the material and understanding it and learning it and doing the examples and internalizing it is just as good, right? So the end goal for some doesn't have to be the exam. It is the knowledge that you've gained in this journey. So I always explain, or at least express, that if you don't get the exam, that's fine too, especially if it's not required. But you've learned what you learned and you can't unlearn it, right? Unless you don't use it and then it kind of goes away. We understand that. But even if you're going to rock with us and not even go along and take the exam, that's fine too. Because if you're going to stick with it for the next couple of weeks, you're going to learn this information and be able to apply it in your role. So both are very valuable.
Yes, indeed. And I will add the one thing here for as far as these percentages. There are 65 questions on the exam. 50 of them are scored and 15 of them are not. So you don't know which questions they're going to consider, which ones aren't. And I don't have it in my notes, but I'm recalling from the book here. There are multiple choice. There's ordering some things, and there are also a couple case studies as well that you have to read and sort of analyze and respond to. So covers the gamut of responses and how you're going to interact with the exam. So yeah, you definitely need to practice, and I mean we'll get to that as far as like ways to prepare. But to your point, the main thing is understanding the material, understanding what you need to, whether you're going to take the exam or not, succeed with applying AI in your role. And I mean, we're going to go through this book and draw from it what we can, and if we got to pull in some other resources, pull those in as well.
Fantastic. So the exam is 90 minutes. It costs $100, and he just told you the number of questions that are counted. One more thing, you need a 700 to pass. The scoring is from 100 to 1,000, and no one cares if you got 701. No one. You passed. We don't care. That's literally what this is. If you're going to go for it, no one cares if your score is a point above. You did what you needed to do. So I tip my hat to anybody who goes through this and, I didn't get a perfect score, or I didn't get 900. Nobody cares. No employer is going to ask you, hey, what did you get on that exam? Right? No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, there may be a case for discovering that skin or that teeth actually have skin on them, because you can pass by the skin of your teeth, and you're still passing.
Been there, done.
You're good. Yeah. You're great. Yes, as have I.
I love goodness. It. So you want to move on to the other certifications and the levels that AWS tends to tier their exams in?
Sure. Yep.
So if you're reading the book, we're on page 6, talking about the other certifications that are the levels, the foundational level. Anything practitioner is foundational. So you're building these are your building blocks toward the associate, which is usually the next step up. You have to they want you to have experience in the topic. If you go to the professional level, they really do expect you to have that understanding of the associate level before you dive into the professional. I will say in the Stephen Merrick SA Pro, he beats over the head. If you have not gone through all 3 associate exams, get off of this video and go back and take them. Now, he doesn't say that, but it's implied. Like he says
Yeah.
it enough times where it's like, I say to myself, well, I didn't finish it, but I might be no, he's like, you really should have that understanding of the associate level exams, even if you haven't taken them, because he didn't say you had to take the exams. Go through the
Yeah.
material is what he
Yeah.
said. And I just finished the SA Pro course right before we jumped online through
Wow.
my job. And that instructor too said, it wants you to have experience in AWS. So it's not going to go explaining in the way
Yeah.
that maybe a practitioner or an associate level will explain. Stephen Merrick doesn't even have labs in his pro course because he's saying, you've done this. Now you just need to hone in on the material. And then they have the specialty exams, which really are deep dives into particular topics, machine learning, security, networking, and things like that. So your choose your adventure, whatever suits you. But this exam we're taking is a practitioner level exam. We've already gone over the weight in the different subject matter, and it's just a matter of going through it, understanding it, and taking the exam.
Yep, and getting through. And yeah, it used to be that you could, or rather that you had to take an associate level exam before you could take a professional exam. And AWS changed that a few years. I don't know the timing, but sometime in the past, yeah, they changed it so you could go straight to the professional if you wanted to, without having to take these associate level or practitioner levels. But it's important to know the foundations, because when you jump into that pro exam, and if you don't know, what XYZ service is, Amazon, whatever, they come up with funky names now, but Amazon headphone case, if you don't know that service, then you're not going to be able to answer the question correctly. So yeah, definitely know the underlying services for sure.
So,
all right. Chapter 2, speaking of fundamentals, this chapter 2, AWS fundamentals for the AWS practitioner. I think it does a very good job of introducing, well, number one, like for people who are really coming in from ground zero, what is cloud computing? What are some of the deployment models for the cloud? Things of that nature. Let me get back to my notes here so I'm not all the way coming off the dome. Cloud service types, that's what I was trying to think of. And then the core services for the exam that AI practitioners should know and understand. And I thought that list was interesting. We can get to that in a second, because some things are or aren't on there, but I think they did a pretty good job of covering the core services. But yeah, cloud computing, I mean, it's servers on demand. It's compute resources on demand that you don't have to host yourself in your data center. That's pretty much the bottom line there. One point that they gave was innovation as well, because in my note right here was it frees up the team to dream. And if I quote the book, it says it removes the burden of provisioning and managing hardware infrastructure, allowing for faster experimentation and innovation. And I never really thought about cloud like that, because maybe for a smaller company, if you, the person who's also doing the development, also has to manage all the infrastructure, then you're split, right? But if somebody else is taking care of the infra, then you could focus on the product and development, refinement, or whatever the case is, and you can innovate. You can experiment and cycle faster than having to work to keep your infrastructure up to speed with wherever you are, or wherever you want to go for that matter.
I agree. Yes, so it went over the basics. It used the AWS definition of what cloud computing is. It talked about its advantages. Now, you've been around long enough where you remember the whole push to cloud. It is going to be cheaper. Oh, it'll be so much easier. It'll save us, cloud, would you?
Yeah.
And you probably, again, have been around long enough to know that the cloud is not a magic wand and it is going to be expensive. So the advantages that they listed in the book, it lowers costs. We're going to put those in quotes because some of us know that might not be the case. Okay. Yeah. Scalability through the roof. The ability to scale on the cloud is unmatched. I've done the on-prem, I've done the rack and stack. No. Scalability on the cloud is definitely
Give me the cloud anytime.
any cloud. Yes.
Yes.
The fact that you can go global in seconds, in minutes, depending on what your workloads are, could never happen, in the old days. High availability. When you see the word, see the two letters HA, you should put $signs behind them, because the higher your availability is in any circumstance, the more your solution is going to cost.
Yep.
So it's a good idea, but you're going to have to pay for it. And last is security and innovation. And you touched on that. Like, if it frees up your time to do other good things, cloud definitely is a benefit in that respect.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, you have to have the benefit of the hands-on as well, because I think like this is a great introduction to like knowing what the services are, knowing what these models are, but then you have to use them to really know like where the edges are, where the rough spots are. And when you talk to like some battle-hardened DevOps engineer, some battle-hardened software developer doing cloud native stuff, then you can, learn from their wisdom without tripping over the same, obstacles that they did. So you really have to be hands-on. Maybe not necessarily now as we're going through this stuff, because this is the intro, right?
Right.
We're learning all these things. But that next stage, get your hands on. And they even at the end of this chapter, I believe they say, hey, create your account, open a free AWS account, and start, getting familiar with working in the console, learning how to get to these different services and everything. Yeah, indeed. So you got to get some experience under it as well.
I have a question for you.
Yes, indeed.
How much has your job changed with platform as a service? Just PaaS specifically.
Yeah. I will say quite a bit, and I'll take it to the next level now, because platform as a service is one thing, and the book talks about infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, and their examples of platform as a service are RDS for databases, Lambda for functions, and SageMaker for machine learning, which is great if you're going into their thing to do that one thing. When I think about platforms now, I think more about like self-hosted platforms that go from end-to-end application deployment. And I really, really do appreciate that approach, because you don't have to build a platform with every project, even if it is like platform as a service. If you need something that, you upload your function code. I love Lambda, so I'm going to use that as my example. You upload your function code, you get your endpoints, you set up your authentication, identity, access and management, and everything. You don't have to do that every time for every single project that you're working on, because they've built the platform for you. You just say, click the button, new function, or Terraform code, deploy this function, and it's done. You don't even have to think about it. You just upload your code, you deploy your code, and you're off and running. So that has definitely changed the game for me, as far as not having to take the time to build out all of the structure, all the scaffolding to get a project started.
Good answer. I think that's how we've all been able to evolve with, IaaS, SaaS has changed everything. I don't know any Exchange administrators anymore. I don't know any. We were out there at one point, but we don't have to, because Gmail and Outlook, whatever, OWA has really taken those jobs and said, know what? Let's put them out on the cloud. Don't concern yourself. Now you have time to do and learn other things. You have time to innovate in other areas. So it's been a game changer. If you've been around for a while, but and you've been there in the before times, just how much it has changed. So shout out to the cloud for transforming people's careers into these amazing cloud careers that we have right now.
Yeah, I have to agree, definitely. And what about the these core services? Okay. And when I think about core services and moving from like back in the day on premises to the cloud and all of the things that we used to have to do or manage internally, and the things that AWS or GCP or Azure, they're like, hey, here, just click this button and you got your database, you got your VM or whatever. I don't have a slide for these core services, but I will read them if you'll entertain hearing me for another minute or two. But so the author says these are for the exam. You should know what these are and what they do. Maybe not necessarily how to use them, but to know what the service is. Amazon CloudFront, Amazon CloudWatch, Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon EC2, Amazon Elastic Block Store, or EBS, Amazon RDS, Amazon Redshift, Amazon Simple Storage Service, or S3, and AWS Lambda. And he didn't put it in this list, but he actually had a whole nother section of the chapter dedicated to it. And it's on AWS Identity and Access Management.
Yes.
So all of those are like the core AWS services that you got to have, if not hands-on experience, at least know what they are for and what they can provide for you as somebody who's trying to implement a solution. So I think that's a good list to start from.
I agree. Now, if you're reading the O'Reilly ebook version online, you're going to realize that it's totally different than the book. So if you're one of those people who like to do the different, because I have access to O'Reilly, I'm always going to check out what their books are. And I think because maybe when this one came out, it was in preview and they've made so many changes on O'Reilly, it literally parses through all of those tools that you just mentioned. So it goes into a lot of detail for EBS, for S3, like there's paragraphs and paragraphs. It goes through the storage classes. So if you're not familiar, and you have access to O'Reilly, definitely dig into it. Now, of course, if you have the book, it talks about the services in a much more broader sense, meaning data ingestion. Well, what does that mean? Well, it gives you a paragraph. It doesn't necessarily tell you about all the tools. The data processing section, it gives you an analogy for, once that data is ingested, and then the storage and the data. So the content, I'm going to assume it's going to, if you're following an O'Reilly, you'll realize that we may not talk about the things that you're reading, but we're going to try to go from the book, and maybe we'll harken back to some of the things that they talk about there, just so you can get the full picture, depending on where you are.
Yeah. And there was one service that I mentioned, because this is the one that I had to go to and do some research myself. AWS Glue.
Yes.
And I'll give a little bit more, because I've heard Glue, but I was like, I don't recall having ever used AWS Glue, whatever. So I had to do a little bit of research, and AWS Glue is a serverless, scalable data integration service, basically used for automated extract, transform, and load. So when you're working with data, moving it from one place to another, modifying the data or cleaning it up or whatever steps you need to take on the data itself, AWS Glue is the service that you want to turn to for that. And I thought about, like, why have I never used this service before? And I believe when I did ETL operations in the past, I used AWS step functions instead, or AWS Lambda. So and again, it's almost like the migration from on-premises to the cloud. We were still building our own solutions to do ETL using the tools that were there, step functions, AWS Lambda, but there's this whole other service that does it for us. So we can just
probably better
and say, hey, here's the code, here's the data, here's some rules, do what you got to do and give me the result, as opposed to managing the software that does all of that work. And I was like, mind blown a little bit, and kind of retroactively mad that I never used AWS Glue back in the day, whenever it was available.
I wonder when its GA was. Like, maybe you just missed it and it wasn't available. So we're going to stick with that one. We're going to stick with that.
I'll have to take a look. It wasn't available. It wasn't out. Right.
Okay.
But then, like, following this, the author provided a case study to understand how these core services work together. And the example that he gave was a CEO wants to build a real-time analytics and recommendations engine to improve customer experience and drive sales. And I thought it was kind of cool. He walked through the, kind of like a problem analysis, and
Yes.
then the steps that it would take to build out a solution for this request from the CEO. And that's kind of like the way that he used to tie in all these services and, the processing of this data from end to end. So I thought that was kind of cool, the way that he provided that example.
I'm glad he settled on that way to present this information in this chapter.
Yeah.
The case study. That was I think it was a much more relevant use of the time, like explaining them how they interact in different parts of the project or the use case.
Mhm.
So yeah, I having read both, the book was a much more helpful way to understand the services and how they're used, in my opinion. So
Yeah. And I got the link here if you're following along or watching us. If you want to create your own account, because this is kind of like how the author wrapped up the chapter. He said, "Hey, go to aws.amazon.com/free and create a free account, and get started working on these services in the console. Start getting familiar with them. Get your hands dirty and learn how they work."
now you do know that the free tier has changed in 2025.
Free tier has changed. Yes. Okay. Yes. His description of the free tier in the book is not the free tier that we are looking at today,
Right.
at this time, year of our Lord 2026. It's a little bit different. It's still good, maybe even better than it was before, because you have less opportunity to go past
That's
the
true.
limit that the free tier
That's
allows
clutch.
you. Yes, it was, or it is, because back in the day, you could say, "Hey, I'm working in the free tier. I'm just going to let this service run." And next thing you know, you got a bill and you're like, "Wait a minute, I was working in the free tier." Well, no, because you used up all your free credits and now you're literally using credit card,
The other credit.
the other credits. Yeah. You're
And
paying
set your
for this
budgets.
thing.
Quit playing. If you have your own little sandbox, your own little AWS account, I think most courses that I've taken AWS related tells you set a budget and set alarms.
First thing you need to do. Yeah.
And I think some people just don't do them. Or you're like me and you get the email and you're like, "I'll get to it."
Yeah. And next thing you know, you get that bill and you're like, "Wait, what happened?"
Yeah. I've done
So
it.
the new free tier is a little bit better at preventing opportunities like this, because they will start turning stuff off. They will start limiting access if you go past, or you start nearing and going past the free tier limit, which is better for everybody, just across the board. As we wind down here, you want to do this quiz? You put our
let's do it.
Get our first attempts at applying some of this knowledge that we got out of chapter 1 and chapter 2. And listener, viewer, watcher, you're going to take this quiz right here along with us. I've got the questions and answers on the slide. I will read the question and answer. I'll give you 5-10 seconds to think about it.
Put your answers in the chat.
Yeah. If you're following along, put your answers in the chat, and then we'll go on to the next slide.
Let's do it.
We got somebody, Leni, or is it Lanai G, is joining us. Always need to check that every course. Yes, indeed. Okay.
I'm in quiz mode.
Ready for your quiz mode? Okay.
Yes, I'm ready for quiz mode.
And I think there might be a slide where I change the answers around a little bit than what's in the book. So if you're following the book and you see something different, the correct answer is still the same, but it might just be a little bit different than what's in the book. All right, let's get started. Okay, number 1, and there's 6 questions, by the way, so we're gonna fly through these. What is the definition of the shared responsibility model? A, AWS is responsible for all security aspects of cloud applications. B, customers are responsible for security in the cloud, while AWS manages security of the cloud. C, AWS only provides security updates if customers request them. Or D, customers are required to manage physical security at AWS data centers.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and just eliminate D, because why would I be responsible for AWS's data center?
So, in the exam, it is, if some answers sound very close, the best thing to do is start eliminating the bad answers.
Yeah.
And that's one. D is definitely a bad one. So get rid of that one. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to get rid of A because I don't think AWS is responsible for all aspects of cloud applications. Like if I deploy my application on the cloud, they're not checking for it, right?
No,
They're like, okay,
they're not
you
configuring your security groups. They're not doing your
that
NACLs. They're
part.
not doing any of that. So that's a
Yeah.
good one to cross out too.
Cross that one out. So it leaves us a B and C. I really don't think they're going to wait to do updates until I request the update.
Not
So
in
if I
their
have
cloud.
yeah, right. You know, it's like if I'm reading the latest alerts or whatever, security alerts, and like, oh man, I need to go patch something. Hey, AWS, can you patch that? Can you imagine the influx of calls or what? It wouldn't make sense. So I think that leaves us with a viable answer.
Do we like B?
I think we like B.
Okay.
AWS keeps the cloud itself safe, but while you're walking around in the cloud yourself, you got to be responsible for what you put there.
That's true.
Pretty much. And I will say they're making it better. They're making it easier by having or putting up bumpers. S3 buckets, for example, you got to go through hoops to make an S3 bucket public now.
But you know why, right?
Yes.
The origin story to that configuration change many years ago was because a company opened up some buckets. So I think they do a really good job of keeping us contained until we are fully aware of our actions and we're ready to take them. Not for every service, but it is our responsibility to secure our data to some extent and not depend so much on the cloud provider. So before we go opening up those buckets, they're like, wait, are you sure?
Right.
Are you sure? Are you really sure? Like, it's
are you sure you're sure?
they're not playing with that one anymore. So
not at all. Okay, next question.
Okay.
Which of the following is an AWS infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, or IaaS? A, AWS Lambda, B, Amazon EC2, C, Amazon RDS, or D, Amazon Chime?
Can I say something?
Yes.
I'm going to cross out D because I know people, I'm on calls with people with at Amazon and they're using Zoom. So we're going to cross Chime out.
Yeah, and when I saw this, and the author uses this as an example, and I'll share why I'm crossing off as a SaaS, and I knew when I read that, I was like, man, why'd you use Chime? Because they deprecated it in February of last year, and I think I took a note somewhere. Where did I put it? I actually had the note from the. I have to see if I can find it, but. Amazon Chime will be deprecated as of February 20th, 2026.
Okay.
So if you're using Chime, which, like, to your point, AWS isn't even using Chime.
I don't even use it.
You know, God bless you for that. So we can get rid of option D.
Good. Cross out B. Okay.
All right. And then, so we talked about platforms.
Yes.
And I think that was like a good lead into this question, because I mentioned a couple platforms based on your question. That I have used, and I mean, I'll just call them out. Maybe this will help narrow down the answer. AWS Lambda and Amazon RDS are platforms for functions and for databases. They are not. And okay, I'll go ahead and say it. This is one of the questions that gave me pause for a second, because I'm like, wait a minute. Lambda and RDS they're infrastructure as a service, right? Because when I think about infrastructure and I'm spinning up a database, or to your point, back in the day, racking and stacking a server that is intended to be used as a database server, to me, that's infrastructure. That's not a platform per se. But in the AWS cloud, Lambda and RDS are platforms for functions and for databases. They're not technically infrastructure.
So, the nuance, right? That's what this question tests. The nuance from one to the other. I agree.
Yes. So this was the question. I had to flip back some pages and say,
and
what are you talking about? Yes. I was like, no way you're telling me that these aren't infrastructure. Like, which one? I was like, of A, B, and C, which one do I pick? Because it really kind of threw me for a loop.
Okay.
But based on our discussion, I think we know what the answer is. It is Amazon EC2, because true infrastructure, it just gives us a bare server, and you can do whatever you want to with that server. That is the infrastructure.
Yes.
There.
What's next?
Yeah, tough question. All right. Next question. Which AWS service provides virtual machines or VMs? And I think the previous question kind of leads us in to this question.
Very much so.
It helps us out quite a bit. I'm going to say right away, it's not AWS Glue, because I did the research on that, and I know it's not that. We know RDS is a platform for databases. And then, well, I mean, we know S3 is infrastructure as a service because it's file storage.
They call it storage as a service.
Yes, storage as a service. So I think that leaves us with one solution here.
So we know what VMs are. VMs are machines like the ones that are on our desks or under our desks, but they're virtual. So they have the memory, they have the disk, they have the RAM, they have the operating system. Key is the operating system. So that if you're in the data center world and you're running Hyper-V or KVM or VMware, you know about VMs, right? That's, you know that. But when we're moving it into the cloud space, AWS has its own service for VMs, and they're called Elastic Cloud Compute. So that's what it is.
It's C, Amazon EC2. All right, next question. What is a key advantage of the public cloud? A, the customer has full control over infrastructure and customization. B, there are lower costs due to shared resources. C, you have guaranteed security against all cybersecurity threats. Or D, there is a single tenant model for each organization.
Okay, let's get rid of the bad ones.
Yeah.
D, definitely a bad one, because it says for each organization. For each. No. You can't imagine how many customers AWS has, and they cannot have single tenant for each and every customer. I think the globe would be covered in data centers if that was the case. So we're going to cross out D.
Okay. And
if we harken back to my first comment, there are lower where is it? Oh, I'm not going to do that one. You have guaranteed security against all cybersecurity threats.
There's no guarantee.
There is no guarantee.
Yeah.
In the illustrious words of Chico DeBarge, no guarantee. Now the song is in my head. To listen to it. Okay. What about the next two?
Okay. I mean, again, quick glance at this, and I think you might set yourself up to be in a bad spot, because A sounds good, B sounds good, but which one is more good? Which one is the better good, right?
The better good, yes.
Yeah, because as a customer, you have, control over the infrastructure. You can customize it, do whatever you want to, because you're using infrastructure as a service, and you can do whatever you want to with these VMs, with these networks, and so on and so forth. But it's not truly like the reason to go to the cloud out of the gate. It doesn't necessarily work that way. So I felt like A was a good answer, but the author says that B is if you said B, then you would have got this question correct, and I would have gotten it wrong.
I like B. And the reason is because it's not the single tenant model. It's not every customer has its own, server. Every customer has its own data center. No, the fact that we're sharing resources, my 10 personal VMs are sharing space with your 10 personal VMs, right? I mean, via the VPCs, they're segmented and separated, placed based on region, based on availability zone. My own little slice of the cloud, I'm sharing it with other users. So I'm not paying full value for what I'm using in the cloud. None of us are. So B is definitely that girl right there.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So I mean, depending on how you look at it, could have been a tough question. It gave me pause. I'll say that. Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Number 5. Which of the following best defines cloud computing?
No.
A set of physical servers that companies purchase and manage internally. B, the ability to access IT resources on demand over the internet. C, a private data center managed by a single company. Or D, a high-performance computing system for AI applications. A couple of these we could probably get rid of
easily.
Right away. Internally, like a set of physical servers that companies purchase and manage. That's on premises. That's the way that we've been doing stuff for the longest.
You can cross that out.
So get rid of that guy.
The sound effects.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I wish I had graphics on here too. A little X or something.
Oh gosh. Okay. That one's definitely good to cross out.
Yeah. D, I'm getting rid of D, a high performance computing system for AI applications, which is true. You can use the cloud for AI, but it's not the pure definition.
Exactly. It doesn't best define cloud computing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we're down to B and C.
Okay.
What do you like between these two?
You're going to have to cross that C out because, I mean, yeah, let's just cross it out. We don't need an explanation for it.
Yeah. It's not private. It's public and people can access it. They can get onto it with their accounts and everything. So it leaves us with B, the ability to access IT resources on demand over the internet. That, in a sentence, is the cloud.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty. And thank you for joining us. And I got to get your name pronunciation right. Lanai. G. I'm just calling you LG for short, if that's okay, because I don't want to butcher your name.
I hate messing up people's names.
I know. That's why I sincerely apologize.
Names are very personal.
I'm doing it wrong. But you answered the question correctly.
Yes.
It is B. It is B. Okay, going on to the last and final question, and then we're going to land this plane. What is the purpose of AWS Identity and Access Management, also known as IAM? A, to encrypt all AWS storage resources. B, to automatically back up AWS resources for disaster recovery purposes. C, to provide monitoring and logging for AWS environments. Or D, to manage user authentication and authorization for AWS services.
Okay, let's just get to the head of the line here. Some of these answers are so terribly bad.
Right.
Has nothing to do with identity or access management. Absolutely. No. To encrypt all storage, get rid of it. Automatic backups. What? No, these aren't even detractors.
Yes. This was kind of a gimme question. I think
it is. Yeah. The answer is D, right?
Yeah. Because I'll go ahead and go to the next slide. We could break it down.
Yes.
IAM had nothing to do with storage encryption, so get rid of that. S3 is good for that. EBS is good for that. If you want to rock with that, that's fine. Backups, there is a service called AWS Backup.
Yeah.
And so there is a service for that. CloudWatch, which he mentioned as a core service, is what you use to provide monitoring and logging for AWS environments. But that is not what IAM does. It does manage user authentication authorization for AWS services. And with that, I'm going to post a comment up here. We got Tech Coach Ralph in the building. He answered correctly. He said D for 150. We're not playing Jeopardy up here, right? But guess what? You got 150.
Time.
You got 150 off that question, no doubt. Thanks for joining us, Tech Coach Ralph.
Thank
you. Indeed.
And Lenny. She
yes, we got a correct pronunciation of the name, Lenny. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for correcting me. I really do appreciate that. So when you join us next time, see what I did there? I'll know how to pronounce your name correctly. Thank you so much for
that is fantastic. We're done chapters 1 and 2. Next chapter is AI and machine learning. So now we are getting into the good stuff. Well, this is why we're all here. That's chapter 3. We're going to do chapter 3 and chapter 4. Chapter 4 is understanding generative AI. She is all the rage. She is definitely the it girl right now. So next week, we're going to be diving into these 2 chapters. They're much more meaty chapters. So read, understand, and comprehend. Take your time with them. But I am excited. I'm very excited.
As am I, because I did some machine learning work before AI kind of blew up, and I'm really interested in seeing how the author presents, the use cases for machine learning compared to AI, and then, like you said, Gen AI is all over the place these days, so we got to understand it. We definitely know how to apply it to whatever it is we're working on. So definitely looking forward to the discussion on that.
Oh, me too.
And before we bounce, just get a couple comments from the people that are joining us live. Tech Coach Rouse says, if you post these questions on your community post, you'd be surprised how many people get it wrong. You're probably correct. Maybe I'll share a link so people can take the test here. Sterling says question 6 may be one of those questions AWS will not count, right? Because it's so easy. It's like,
yeah, I agree.
But you know what? Maybe they will show a little bit of grace and say, we're just going to give you this one. Just,
I
you know what? This is a show up question. You show up and you're going to get this question. Aaron Brooks, Mr. Mastermind himself, said, this is the stuff I don't know, so I'll be diving in. Thanks for joining us and rocking along. Yeah, looking forward to having your
glad he's gonna rock with us.
Discussion. And then Tech Coach Ralph rounds everything else out by saying, nice topic to jump into. My company is pushing AI hard, added it to the performance evaluation and all pull request labels to choose what kind of AI was used. So they're really putting their money where their mouth is for that. Yeah, no doubt.
All right.
Yeah.
Timely subject. Hopefully more folks can jump on this with us. And I'm looking at my calendar. You should pull up your calendar so we can
so we can
set a date for our exams.
You know what? Top of next show, we'll put the date out there for when we're gonna, because I might need a minute. I'm all over the place.
I know, you're right. But I will not put you on the spot like that, because we had this conversation over chat. Like
we did.
This man is busy.
Yeah. I'm all over. But to the point that we discussed earlier, it's not real until you have a date on the calendar.
Exactly.
As soon as you sign up, register, say I'm taking this exam on this date, that's how much time you have to prep. So we are definitely going to use that.
Tech Coach Ralph said, hold you accountable. Yes, I will. I'm gonna be all over him.
And you will be accountable as well. All y'all that are listening, watching, joining us, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, wherever you're checking us out. Hold us accountable and rock with us. Come back and check on us and say, hey, you signed up for that exam, you schedule your exam. What's the date? And then the day after the date, come back and message me on LinkedIn and be like, hey, what's your score, dog? Did you pass?
Yeah, you know what? If that's not the biggest accountability action right there, I really don't know what is. Like, we're putting ourselves out there, and that just shows how much setting the date, making it real, and committing is important if you're going to take any exam, this one or the next one. So our team is going to rock with us, and we're going to be certified in mere weeks, because our seasons are pretty quick on this podcast. Like, we get through these books.
Yeah, 5 or 6 weeks on this, because we're doing a couple chapters a week. I think there were 10 chapters in this book. Maybe we'll have a week or two for discussion.
I would love that.
Yeah. So maybe like post-exam discussion.
I would love that. I would love that. And I do think if you're serious about this, reading the book, great. If you can find a course on Udemy or somewhere, or on YouTube, go through the course. If you need a little bit more hands-on, there are tons of courses out there that dig deep into this. And what's the next thing? Oh, I just told you I was in this AWS course for the past 3 days, and I am a big proponent of this tool called Google Notebook LM.
Yes.
And it's a cheat code for every certification I've taken since I've heard about it, where if you are, say you're in, I don't know, some learning platform, and they give you this PDF with all this information in, load it into Google. If you have the links to all of the knowledge base articles, not knowledge base articles, but how AWS has the service page, put that link in there. If you have a bunch of PDFs of notes or whatever, put that in there. And what it'll do is, it's a small, what do they call it? Domain specific LLM, where you can ask questions of it. You can get them to make you a quiz or ask questions. Or what's the other thing? You can do a podcast. It'll talk to you and explain all of the information that you put in. It will let you create flashcards so you can like click in your browser and, you know, when I say I'm not what is it, sponsored by Google Notebook LM by any means, but when I say it is the cheat code for passing exams and honing in on that material, go to it. It's like notebooklm.google, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we'll get the link for sure.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it is free.
And it's free.
It's free. Yeah. If you got a Gmail account, a Google account, just log in, homie. You know, it's like, what are you waiting for? Check that. And we're getting ahead of ourselves with all this AI goodness, AI tool goodness, because I mean, this is what being a practitioner is about, right? Knowing the tools and how to apply them. And there you go. Tech Coach Ralph helped us out with the or did I do that? Did you do that?
I did that. I don't know how I'm trading.
Okay.
I don't know how I'm chatting as you.
It's fine. It's fine. I think on the platform that you're using, if either of us puts a comment in, it's going to come up through my YouTube. So it's fine. Notebooklm.google.com is the thing. That's your homework. Sign up for the exam or wait for us until next time and figure out if you want to rock with us to finish out this series. Take the exam and then come back and we can talk about it, commiserate, celebrate, whatever we got to do. But we're going to be doing it. Yes, that's the homework. And
I love it. Well,
indeed.
We're at the end of season 4, episode 1.
Yeah.
Happy Black History Month to my friend Michael.
Indeed.
You know, we are those people. We are living proof that Black history matters. So let's keep it out there. Let's keep doing great things. Let's keep motivating other people, because it's nice to be able to see what you can be. And both of us have been doing this long enough where I know you've had people tell you this, like, oh, I was kind of inspired by, you know, your path to and whatever. And it matters that our faces are in the place. So I'm very happy to be here with you.
Yeah, likewise. And yeah, Tech Coach Ralph, we're going to continue to make history, rocking out this the rest of this Black History Month, studying for this exam, learning all we can, and getting certified. You know, that's our goal. We're gonna take it there. So as always, Angela, that is the book. I'm on my mobile device. I got the digital copy, so I'm holding up my phone. But looking forward to getting through these next couple chapters and chopping it up with you next time.
I love it. Thanks, everybody.
All right. We'll see you.